Arsenal plot an ambitious move for Marcus Rashford to get him out of his Manchester United nightmare as his relationship reportedly sours with the hierarchy and club. We all know Arsenal are on the lookout for a brand new striker. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has gone. They're looking for something new. They're looking for something different. And the Mirror, amongst a number of credible outlets, are now reporting that Arsenal Football Club could be the place for Marcus Rashford. Now, viewers, I want your take. I want your view on this. A lot of people think Rashford is washed. A lot of people think Rashford has been found out at this level. But Arsenal fans, now that you're actually linked to him, what's your thoughts and feelings? How do you feel being linked with a player like Marcus Rashford, who up until this season, back-to-back campaigns, over 20 goals from a wide position, a certified big game player, his goal-scoring ratio in the big games where winning is essentially all that matters, has been very good throughout the course of his career. Of course, he's experienced, and there's a lot of people close to him that think he just needs a change of environment, a different feel around him to rejuvenate him. What are your thoughts and feelings? Man United fans, I want to hear from you as well. Let's do this. Arsenal will offer Man United's Marcus Rashford an escape from Old Trafford this summer. As mentioned, the Gunners are in the market to improve their front line after Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang left Arsenal and joined Barcelona. Both Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah are currently out of contract come the summer. The Gunners have been linked with a string of forwards and, of course, tried to sign Vlahovic in the January window. Rashford was not understood to have been up for grabs when their original shortlist was drawn up. However, due to the situation changing and Marcus Rashford being very, very vocal about the potential of him leaving, the thought that he feels a little bit disrespected, and although he's stating that he's still being professional, it's very well regarded that he's not happy at Man United for a number of reasons. According to the Mirror, Arsenal are about to plot an attack. They are going to try to make him part of their attacking makeup. Now, it doesn't strike me as strange. Marcus Rashford, let's go back to the beginning here of this scenario. I've always been someone that's rated Rashford. I've always been somebody that thought Rashford had the ability, the talent, and skill set to make it to the very highest level of the game. And I'm not talking playing in the Premier League or playing internationally. I'm talking about delivering on a regular basis. And for a couple of years under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he started to do that. The level of goals, the level of assists, the level of match-winning performances, the level of performance within games was at a very high level. Now, yes, there were things to criticize. At times, Rashford's flaw. Sometimes he can shoot a little bit too early. Sometimes he doesn't always make the right decisions. But a happy and together Rashford is dangerous. He is potent and he can be clutch. Just look at his match-winning record from the bench as an example. I think no player in Man United history has won more games from the bench than he has. So that kind of gives you an idea. That includes Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So it gives you an idea of what type of player he is. He isn't the same as everybody else, but he's very good at what he does. I'm someone that's always rated him. However, and there is a however here that I need to throw in and be consistent with, his form at Man United has been horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. He deserves to be on the bench with the way he's playing at our club. There is no doubt about that. But just because you're not playing for your club, just because you're not in favor, doesn't necessarily mean that you can't make a move that improves you. A case in point to perfectly look at would be Martin Odegaard. Not really wanted by Real Madrid. The clubs that he was on loan didn't show too much of an interest. None of the other big suitors across Europe were overtly interested. You fast forward a little bit of time and most Arsenal fans didn't even want him. Let's be absolutely honest. If you go back to the last couple of transfer windows and look at the links to Martin Odegaard, there was a general, and I'm talking 70, 80% plus, meh from Arsenal fans towards him. And look how that has turned out. I'm not necessarily saying that's 100% going to happen with Rashford, but if he can find a home, whether that's with a new manager at Man United or at a club like Arsenal, where he feels loved, where he feels rejuvenated, where he feels happy, there is a distinct possibility that you could get the very best Marcus Rashford back again. If, of course, if his form doesn't improve at Man United, why would the club not? The club should always look to sell and move on. The club should look to sort of rejuvenate and refurbish that part of the squad. And that isn't because the player's always rubbish. Sometimes a change is as good as a rest. But Gooners, I want your take and views on that. There's a lot of tweets circulating here from some very prominent Arsenal fans. Would you take Marcus Rashford at Arsenal? What is your thoughts and feelings? I want to know what you think and feel about that. And the reason I ask it is this. We saw last week Paul Pogba linked with Chelsea. And suddenly, lots of Chelsea fans who I follow for many, many years on socials have gone from calling him an inconsistent bum. So, yeah, but that's Man United's Pogba. That wouldn't necessarily be the Pogba that Chelsea get. Would he come in and, with Kante next to him, with Kovacic in the side, with the likes of Havertz and Mount in front of him, Thiago Silva behind him, Thomas Tuchel's tactic and system, he would be a more consistent Pogba. Maybe the Juve Pogba. Maybe the France Pogba. I say France, not French. I'm not talking about his nationality. I'm talking about the team that he plays for. Could the same thing happen here with Marcus Rashford? And Arsenal fans, I want your honesty here. I've already seen it on socials. When you look at the tweets from some of the prominent Gooners asking the question, there is almost a warming to it. Not a complete universal 100% we need him. Just an element of, yeah, I think he could do a bit here. I think Arteta could improve him. I think Arteta could coach him. I think Arteta could get him back on track. That's what I'm reading anyway. But I want your thoughts here on the terrace. I want to know what you think and feel about this. And the way I look at it is this. Of course, there are going to be some Arsenal fans that don't want him. And you're going to get that already. But I'll bookmark a lot of their tweets. I've bookmarked a lot of tweets from people saying that they don't want him at the football club. We're past wanting unwanted players or past signing unwanted players. I don't necessarily think Marcus Rashford fits into that category because Martin Odegaard wasn't a wanted player and you signed him, if that makes sense. It's sometimes these deals will happen in a particular way and you've got to pounce and strike while the iron is hot. I, for one, as a Manchester United fan, feel like, and I want to make sure I say this in the right way. And I kind of look at it from the point of view of this. I would be gutted if he was to join a Premier League rival. If he goes abroad, it's less damaging for me. But I do get the feeling that if Rashford leaves and wherever he goes, whether it's PSG, if it was Barcelona, if it was Borussia Dortmund, if it was Arsenal, I believe there would be a resurgence. I believe there would be a rejuvenation in his skill set. I think he would get back to being the very best Marcus Rashford that we have seen. And if I'm honest, that is a concern and that is a worry for me because to see him leave and do it elsewhere would infuriate me as a Man United fan because I think it's absolutely right to criticize his performances. I think it's right to focus on the red flags, just 5 goals in his last 26 appearances. But I think it's ridiculous at his age to completely write him off, considering 2 seasons on the bounce, one of the most prolific left-sided attackers in world football. And I'm talking when you focus on people playing in the top 4 leagues. There's only a couple of people that were in and around the same level of output as him, consistency of performances, clutch goals, winning goals. You start breaking down all those very important metrics within the game. It counts. Look, eye test is a very different scenario. Some people will like Rashford. Some people won't like Rashford. That's just the way of the world. But the man delivered. He delivered to such a point, coupled with his clear popularity outside of football, become one of the most valuable football players in the world. So not only could a team be signing a player that could deliver, win them games, help to win them trophies with the right setup and structure around them. You're also talking about a player that could generate a huge amount of money for a club, which then damages you for further endeavors. But listen, I am reading through tweets as I'm recording this now, and there's lots of people out there, the likes of Igal don't want him, Bav don't want him. There's lots of people out there that don't. But then I can just see a number of like Arsenal fans who, looks good in an Arsenal kit. I'm seeing a few tweets here that are like, I like him at the club. 100% yes. There are a few that are like 100% definitely I'll take him. Only if he lowers his salary, calls along those bounds. So you're starting to see that there are some Arsenal fans that want him. I'm just interested to see if these rumors start to pick up pace, whether Arsenal fans start to change their mind. I do think there's one thing that Gooners need to drop is this mindset of we can't like upset the apple cart, the sort of the wage bill element that's coming out. We can't look to damage that. The one thing you've got to remember about Rashford is Rashford commercially is so valuable. That's why his salary is where it is. It's also overinflated in the media. He isn't on £250,000 a week. It's around 150 in plus bonuses, which he's of course not getting because he isn't playing, he isn't scoring, we aren't winning anything, etc. But it's definitely a risk for Arsenal if they were to push ahead and do it. I want your thoughts. I want your feelings as to whether or not you'd want him to come to your football club. If you're a Man United fan, do you want to see him leave? And if you're a rival of Man United or Arsenal, how do you feel about this deal? Do you feel like if Rashford goes to Arsenal and kicks on, it's dangerous for you? Will it weaken United in the longer term? I want your thoughts and feelings. Check out the Boohoo Man QR code next to me as well to get up to 40% off. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all soon. Thank you.